Welcome to CEO Interviews, a production of Agoracom in which we take the time to interview CEOs and executives of small cap companies with important news. With us today, I'm happy to have Jim Briscoe, CEO and President of Liberty Star Uranium. The company trades on the stock symbol LBSR. You can find them on the web at libertystaruranium.com. And of course, you can always find them on Agoracom, where you'll always find your fellow shareholders. You can engage in great discussion, ask questions, and even get answers back from IR management. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thank you, George.
Jim, on July 6th, Liberty Star put out a CEO update with you commenting on the upward movement of gold price and the gold anomaly at the company's primary project, Hay Mountain in Arizona's Cochise County in the copper mining rich southeast of the state. Tell us a little bit about gold mining in that part of Arizona.
Well, I want to make this interview about summarizing our exploration at Hay Mountain because it's a typical porphyry copper that's all ready to go with drilling the only thing remaining. But Hay Mountain is situated in a larger zone of copper and gold mining extending from north central Arizona east to the southeast part of New Mexico and south into northern Mexico. The U.S. Geological Survey has characterized this area as the great cluster of copper resources, but it's really a great cluster of gold, copper, moly resources. And so the great cluster includes gold among other metals. We have always characterized Hay Mountain and the Tombstone Super Project as exploration properties primarily for copper, gold, and moly. The historic Bisbee mine, just 15 miles south of Hay Mountain, had a healthy gold mining enterprise in the last century, which is of course just 16 years past. And the Copper Queen mine, which was one of a significant number of mines within that district, produced nearly 3 million ounces of gold. Morenci, the Pima mine, and Sierrita mines all report byproduct gold from their copper operations. The Johnson Camp mine started as a silver gold operator in the late 1800s. To the northeast of Tombstone, where in the Silver Bell Mountains, where I worked under Kenyon Richard and Harold Courtright, gold was not a major player, but has been a subject of continuing exploration. And to the south of Bisbee in Sonora, Mexico, which we're just about 20 miles north of the Mexican border at Hay Mountain, gold mining is very healthy, and in fact, Sonora, Mexico, is the largest gold producer in Mexico. In 2012, the Mexican Geological Service reported that 3 new important gold deposits in the northwest of that state are being worked now.
So discovery of gold at Hay Mountain would be part of a continuum in the area. You show several maps with the Hay Mountain gold anomaly included in the update, which I understand are on your website and have been as they were made publicly available. Your geochem maps are from 2013, and the ZTEM maps are newer. Tell us how the gold anomaly was discovered.
Well, it's an interesting story because it was a continuity of effort by myself and later various team members over 44 years. Summarized as first, geochem in 1972 by now Dr. Roger Newell in his PhD dissertation from Stanford. But he only sampled for copper, moly, zinc, and lead. And then in 2003, 2004, while Shea Clark Smith of Metals Exploration Geochemistry, a contracting firm, was working with us on what we call the Red Rock Canyon Gold Project, he went off and took a large number of samples in a very small area. And it turns out that that happens to be the porphyry copper center. Recent geochem dating 2011 to 2014 included rock chip, soil, and vegetation, also under Clark Smith's direction. And then in 2013, with ongoing mapping in 14 and 15 of ZTEM, verifies the center of the ZTEM, EM, and magnetometer anomalies, which correspond to the gold, copper, moly anomaly, thus defining the porphyry copper system. And then recent work using the niton analyte X-ray and fluorescence analyzer in the fall of 2000 really led us to the realization that we were actually on top of the disseminated ore body, and the most prolific historically limestone horizons lie much more shallowly below us than we had originally thought. So gold was never hidden. We have some people that talk about that I gimmed up some gold since the price was going up. I never watch the metals prices every day because this is a long-term project, and B, we already knew about it years and years ago. So what the scientific work tells us is we're dealing with a porphyry system like numerous others in the USGS Great Cluster, and all the markers are there, including an intrusive, breccia pipes, anomalous copper, moly, lead, zinc, and gold, and other features that are just classic porphyry copper. So while it is covered and has never been noticed by anybody else, when we get all the details together, this is a little bit of a no-brainer in that it looks exactly like every other porphyry copper, just not exposed. And of course, driving this is the large intrusive known as a pluton or batholith of granitic composition, and this mass was 73 million years ago molten, but now a solidified mass. And we've identified this particular pluton by the obvious magnetic signature indicated during the ZTEM analysis. And this intrusive is approximately 40 square miles in extent. It's a very large pluton. We have ZTEM slides showing it on our website, and it is in the copper age range for this area, which is 73 million years old. The geochem anomaly is centered on the pluton, and again, typical of porphyry coppers in the area. They're, of course, copper bearing.
So it seems like you need to find out if this gold, copper, moly anomaly is something more in terms of making a discovery and finding out if it's viable. Are you going to be able to do that during phase 1 drilling?
Yes, we will. We cannot measure total ore grade because that will take a great deal of drilling of numerous holes, as is typical for a very large porphyry copper. But what we are going to do, and we already have targets picked out, which have also appeared on our website, and we have our paperwork in the form of drill permits in order, and it's structured in a way that with our assumptions about the presence of the gold moly at various depths and the direction to take the program, we will be extremely flexible. We think, because we can see the copper as oxidizing sulfides at the surface, or a few inches actually below, that's why it's never been noticed before, there's a very high possibility that the gold zone, which is sometimes more deeply buried, but in this case there's been quite a bit of erosion that has gone on, so it may simply be sticking out below alluvium, and we can't know that until we drill through that alluvium. And so the ZTEM mapping, which has been very promising in terms of seeing indicators of a deep-seated copper presence, we figure that the gold will be part of the picture as it has throughout the Great Cluster, and it may be essentially below a few feet or maybe a few tens of feet of alluvium, there to be mined by easy open pit methods if it is a lower grade tenor.
Jim, that sounds pretty exciting. I guess we all have to wait and see here with bated breath. But as always, we always appreciate when you take the time in your busy day, and you're one of the busier, CEOs/geologists, because you're really hands-on. So when you take the time to talk to everybody and explain this in layman's terms, it's deeply appreciated. I want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you, George. And there's actually some pictures that we hope to be able to transmit with this of me in the field with the niton and looking at breccia pipes, which are classic indicators of porphyry copper. No porphyry copper that I'm familiar with is without breccia pipes, and these happen to carry copper as well, which we found out using the niton. So thanks again for letting us talk about this.
Oh, you're welcome. Everyone, you've been listening to James Briscoe. He's CEO and president at Liberty Star Uranium, in addition to being the company's chief geologist. You can find all the information you need, and I highly encourage you to get to the website, libertystaruranium.com, or take a look at the various collateral there that you need. And then get yourself over to Gorcom, where you can ask questions, get answers, and even collaborate with your fellow shareholders and prospective shareholders in a moderated environment that's free of all the nonsense that you see on other sites. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.